Voila! Right. I'm going to get straight into this with some... it's virtually yellow. It's a slight green tint to it, but it's mainly yellow. I think there's some grasses there. That can be a bush here. Right to there. And I think there's a bush there. That one's slightly behind that tree. And then what we got in here is a bush about there, covering that tree. And there's some grasses and stuff here. And then some grasses and stuff there. Yeah, I'll just have that all grasses. Well, so I just sort of made that up as I went along. Right, now then. I think now we'll cross and duck sky. Right. Yeah, just come across. Might not go through that tree there with my sky, but probably sort of go into that one. Something like this. Plenty of water. I don't think it's going to matter if I go through that land a bit. Oh, plenty of water. A bit on here. Right, let's say a bit of yellow in this sky. A bit of yellow down here. To there like that. To there, a bit down there. Then let's go into some red. Bright. This is a bright red and all. Bright red. To that yellow. It's a bright red in there. A bit more light yellow. Take it a bit orangey. Let's think a bit orangey, a bit more red. Orangey red. And then we have to go with a blue or a purple. Let's go with purple. Some nice purple in top there. Not a bad little background, is it, that? That's alright. Right, and then some trees now, so we'll go with that. Put the same purple colour with a little bit of brown in it. Get some trees. So that's that one. And a bit of this red, a bit of brown. Oh, then there, like that. So a bit more brown. That's a bit too purple, I think, that one. A bit more red in that one. A bit of a big in here, I think. I'm just guessing and just whacking stuff in. I like that a bit more brown at the bottom. I don't want them to look too bright colours to the point where it looks a bit unnatural. Purple in there. What else there? Some a bit brown in there on that side bit. Something like that. That'll do, I think. Yeah. Well, that'll do. I'll fade in a bit softer that. Probably. Down lower into here. Let me get this same purple. Stick it into a bit of green. A bit of yellow. Really mucky green. There's some sort of mucky green bush things coming in here. Quite a few of them. I think these are a little bit closer, perhaps. Say a big in there. There we are. Now, get some more green. Not wash my brush. put stuff on my brush. Some more green and bring this down. So if I get some purple now for this mud and bring that back up, that purple can represent my mud. Around that bit there. There. That bit there. Same here, this bit here, look. Round it off. There we are. So that's a bit of mud, and probably even get a bit of brown. Take it a bit more muddy. And then let's go back into a bit of yellow, a bit of green. Get quite a nice bright sort of green, and just put a few highlights in places. I'm going to leave a few of these little white specks and all for where there's bits of light hitting and stuff. And that always looks pretty good when I do that. So that's that. On this one, there's the one I'm copying, because it's from a photo what I took and then I painted it ages ago, so I'm copying from that painting. And there's a few little twigs in there on that. Right, so that's that. And now then, I think I'll just whack this big tree in here. Some serious amount of paint on my brush for this one. So I think on this, I've got pure burnt umber for now. So I'm going to whack in that. Pure burnt umber. That's it. And I'm going to bring that all the way across. I'm going to add a bit of water to it. Across there, down there like that, down into there like that. Missing a few white bits again, so it's a bit of light hitting it. Right, so that's that. Now, let's get put in. I've not cleaned my brush. I've bobbed into that purple paint again, so we'll lob some of that in. Blend that back in. A bit more. Tell you what, let's even stick in a bit of that red and all. That'll bring it up nice and close and make it a bit more interesting. Right, I think I'll leave that for now, and I might come back in with some more colours later. See what I might do though. Get a bit of burnt umber, purplish colour, and just do to get this bush here, look. There's a bush in there. That's for the edges of that bush. Perfect. Probably end up going over that bit. Right, same here really. What colour have I got? I'll just take whatever colour's left on this now then. So that's that. There, then. Same here, that's going up there. And lighter as we come across. To down there. Right, so now let's get some pure burnt umber for this side. Work that in. Some down there. I'll stick some of that bright red in. And then some of that purple in. I haven't washed my brush for any of that, I've just gone dip, dip, dip. Same again, I may well go back over that, depending how light or dark it dries. May well go back over that and do some more work on it. I think what I'm going to do now, whatever colour's on this brush, maybe add a tiny bit of brown into that. And just come up now, sort of work this. That can go that way. Just say a bit coming out of there. Something like that. Bit whiter in for my light side of this bit. Look. Rig a brush. Actually, there's a lot of greenery on this. I thought perhaps get some greenery in before we do any more, because I can go, like if my greenery's through there, like that, I can work around it. I definitely have green in there to add that bit what I've missed it. Yeah, I can work my branches out around it then. That's as good as out, that'll do me. And then the branches, look at this little brush here. The branches now, I can just fit in between like that, look. Thick one there, some of it up there like that, look. Some coming out there like that. That'll do. You don't need loads of branches everywhere. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. This one's got a couple on. Let's put a couple on this one then. See, there's a bobble there, so that looks like there might be a branch coming out there. So I'm not copying my original photo. I'm just looking and thinking, yeah, there might be one there, where it suits this one. So I've done that one a bit lighter, and then I think I'll darken a bit of it under there, down there. So it's alright, isn't it? I'll take a bit out there and all. That'll do. That's enough just to... Right. There we are. This one's got a bit of... Yeah, I'll leave that. It's a bit of an highlight down one side on that, but I'll leave it. Right. The water probably going to be this reddish purplish colour. I'm trying to think. I think I'll put it in with my spiky brush. So that's all red and purple on that. Pop a bit of water in. So yeah, maybe to this red first. It's going to be slightly mucky, so I'm muckying this red down a bit, and then I'm going to use some clean water and all to blend it, I think. So towards this end, I'm going to use more red. As I come down, I'm going to use more blue. I can nick a bit out of that tree if I want one. To me, it's running more. Well, I've looked at, I think this is gonna, I can't remember the original photograph. I've got my painting of it here, and I'm not sure what I've done, but to me, it looks like it'll look nice with running water. So, world's my lobster. I'm doing it with running water. That's how it is. You do what you want. You're in charge, man. You're in charge, man. Don't worry about it. If you want running water, make it running water, innit? No one's going to say, oh, I was there that day. Water was still. So I'm just deciding for this one, I want this water running. Could even add a bit of blue at bottom because it's possible that higher up sky goes a bit more bluer. In fact, let's tiny bit do that. A tiny little bit looks there. Not much. There. That looks alright from Watercolour, I think that. Right, so that's that done. Let's get back into this grass now then. I've not washed my brush, I may as well use that muck that's in there because I'm not going to want a bright sort of geary green anyway. So I'll have some muck on there. Let's mix it up. I've got some bright yellow to start with. What's soaked that mud in and gone bright anyway. So I'll just come back in with this bright yellow and add a bit to it. It's going to look good. Especially on these end bits here, look. Now then, grasses. Then we've got loads of grasses in here. Put them back in. They may as well go in bright yellow. And some more blushy bits there. Right, there we go. I'm tempted now. I think I'm going to take it and give the whole thing a bit of a dry and then sit back and have a look and see what we're looking at. Right, be back in a second. Get it dry. I'm just going to stick it out. Wait a minute, I need to stand right back and have a look at it. Yeah, it's looking quite nice. Right, I'll stick it back. It's always a good idea to stand back. So if I pop that, that's about right, isn't it? Is that about right? Yeah. There. I'm going to stand up and paint it, I think. Then I'm stood back anyway then. Right, so these bits definitely need some darker green in. So mix in some darker greens for that. No, that's not bad. So I come into there like that. I think I'll cover all that. Same this side, I think I'll cover the lot. These grasses, just the same thing. Blast over the lot. Grasses. Oh, I tell you what I should have done. Put that bit of a path in before I put these grasses in. Well, I'll do that in a minute. I'll put that path in a minute. That's it, that's built another layer into that foliage there. I'm really liking that tree just as it is. Right. Path. Get this path in. What colour shall I use for that? Just not a brown colour, I think. Is that too much? Let's try. Oh, that's nice. That'll do. That's what I could do. I'm going to cut through a bit of that. Like that, look. Some grasses. That's it. Sound. Right. Wait a minute. Right. Darker green. I need darker green now. Mix some more green in. So I've got Hooker's green. Getting a low mix now. Need a lot of this. I don't know, let's try mixing that purple. Let's try and mix that purple in and just see what it looks like. Yeah, it's not. Oh, it's a bit unnatural looking, so I'm not going to do that. I'll mix it with burnt umber. I've still not washed it out of it, just mixed it. That's quite dark. Just mixed it. Right, some like that there. That's some of them in front of there. Look. That's there. Look. See, and then in here, some of that, some there, some there, some there, and some there. Some more grasses in. And then probably what I should do now, squeeze that out, give it a wash, get into some pure yellow again, I think. Loads of pure yellow. And then just soften that in with pure yellow, like that. That's it. Now I'm going to go back into that dark green again now. Plop some of that into that pure yellow. Just plop it in. Like that. That's dead nice. Gently plopping it in, and I'm stood up now. The reason I've stood up is so I can get right back so I can see what I'm painting from a distance. That bottom bit there, I think I'm going to get some. I've gone ridiculously dark now. I think I'm going to get in there like that with that. Just to get that, and just do some extra grasses in there like that. That's why I've gone that dark down there. Right, I'm going to do the same here, but I'll put some purple in this one. I think I'll do it like a grass like that, and then some bits there, just like that, and then some more grasses cutting up. That's it, like that, that looks nice. I think I'll do the same here. Some grasses down like that. So it does a grass shape anyway, that's a good idea. So you do a grass shape anyway, like that, and then you can still get some extra grass shapes in there like that. That's nice, isn't it? If you wanted to, you can have like, if you get some really, really dark again, say you put a bit there and a bit there, and then you could have some little bits, some things showing through. Might be a bit there, look, a bit there in that tree, something like that. There. A couple of twigs showing through. Maybe there's one in that one and all. Yeah. Right. Them really dark colours now, I'm thinking probably need a few bits in here as well now. And I can see that because I'm stood up, I'm stood right back, so I can see exactly what I'm doing better. See it. Some more of that. Get some more in. Some more. And then I can leave it. If I want to, I can scratch some more bits in with that and all. That's not looking bad now, that foreground. I like the look of that, but it's not in keeping with everything else, so I'm going to have to go back into there anyway. I've already got dark paint on my brush, so I'll just mix, I'll just go back in with some fairly dark. That's fairly dark. Let's see, I'll mix some lighter in with that as well, and just blend it in a bit. Some yellow gone back in there, and this is helping again because I'm stood up, so I'm right back away from it. And then I'm going to go in with some quite dark, I think, now. So mix some watercolour in. Quite dark at that now on these, mainly on these bottom bits here, look. Mainly on them bits. That's better, isn't it? It's getting a bit more depth. A bit more depth. Oh, I quite like that, that's alright. Just a few little touch-up bits now, so looking at this. Really dark green here. I'm going to come right up to that edge there with that. Just blend that in. Probably the same here actually, to highlight that bit of white there. Blend that in. I could, shall I? No. Tell you what I could do. I could do it here. Just to blend this bit in and then onto there. That's it. That'll do. My path actually, see now I'm just looking, stood back and looking and just seeing what needs slightly altering to get it right. My path. Shall I bring my path right up to there, or shall I just bring it around there like that perhaps? So that's... I probably need a bit purple to blend that in. There's a bit more purple in there. Yeah, that's better, isn't it, I think? And that looks like a bit of white splashing across there. Yeah. Now, I'm just looking, are these trees dark enough? You know what, I'm going to get a really dark colour. And just have a go. See what happens. So this is really dark now. I'm going to sit back down just to get comfy. So now, have a bit there, bit there, bit in there. I'll soften this in, I think. A little bit up there, not too much up there. So, in here. See, I haven't even got to use dead thick painter out like that because it's just it's going on top of what's already there, so it's going to be thick paint anyway because it's my second layer. So I'll soften this in a minute. So that's giving me a bit of a bark look, looking a bit like bark look. In fact, I think there's a cartoon character called Bark, isn't there? Bark Simpson. I'll soften this bit in here. Yeah, there's Homo Simpson and Bark Simpson. Alright. Oh, make me so loud. Right. There. Stand back. Look at that. I'm going to go even darker on this one. Not all of it, just some tiny touches. Maybe there's a touch on this side, I don't know. This one's just as close. What's that look like? That's alright, isn't it, that? We're about ready to put... That'll soften it. I'm going to soften that in, but it'll soften in more anyway as it chills itself out, as it dries out. Yeah, quite like this foliage here. This is all looking good. Oh, right, let's start getting to business now, because I've just realised this, I think this sort of in silhouette. So let's get some purple and red mixed and a bit of brown and all. Sort of in silhouette. There's a couple of people on this other one, just sort of popped in, just a couple of people there. Not purple people. What's that? What about there? Red's on. I think that's sort of all I need really. I need a shadow. Yeah, light's coming in that way. It's a good. I've just put that light in without thinking, so it's a good job my light is coming in that way because I didn't even check. Right, so that's that. I've used a bit too much whiter in that paint, so I'm just going to try and take a bit out. Look, and in fact, if I take a bit out from that side, it'll look like light's hitting them from that side. Look, that cools out. I might even try that on the red, even though it's a tiny little bit. Look. Does that look like two people? Does it? I don't know. Let's bring them out a bit and make them a bit sort of thicker at top. In fact, if we get them closer together, it might look like they've got the arm around each other or something. Couple, that's a couple in love, isn't it? That? Yeah. Oh. Right. That can be me and Ezmeralder, that. Tell you what, let's use a... It's got a slight bit of purple in it, this. So, right, I need a light piece to come into, because it's dark, so I want my dark against light. So Peter's dark, Paul's dark, so I'll put them in a light piece and stand out better. And that's called a contrast between light and dark. It's called a contrast. Right, then put my autograph on it. So I'll put it there, right in there. It's a bit poser a place to put it. That's where a poser would put it. To be fair, to be fair, I'm a bit of a poser, so right there. Right, wash my brushes while you're here. Look at that. Marvellous, isn't it? That. I say so myself, it's marvellous. I've washed my brush a lot of times because I'm sure this white and clean when I started. It's filthy now. I'm washing my brushes while you look. You can just stare at that. Well, I'll wash my brushes. I'll tell you what I could do. Oh, I just thought of one more thing. Okay, no peckers at door. That's my chicken what I'm looking after. I'm just going to do that. Put a couple of bits in some of these like that. That's probably enough at that. And then just dab it because I don't like very strong. A bit there and a bit there. Let's have a little bit there and all like that. There you are. Wah wah, I'll say they on beach in it.